And hello everyone, we're back again here with some more ALR F123 action. My name is Allu, and tonight we will be visiting the French Paul Ricard track with the Tier 3 competitors this fine Sunday evening, as the qualifying is starting to get underway. Quick check that my audio is working and everything is running smoothly. So, looking at the participants today, we don't, or at least I don't think I see any new people. Apart from maybe King Fades, don't quite remember, was he here last week? So, looking back on the last race in Belgium, we had quite an exciting one. Good battles all over the field and some nice racing altogether. Hello, Robin. So, last time out, Ishtar was victorious, the reserve driver, who was under a threat to go back to Tier 1, with Sven being the second and Osvaldo picking up the final podium place with a good drive with the Alpine last time out. Jay O'Leary was 4th, Benny 5th, Winter 6th, Arctic Squirrel 7th, Luke Beus, whom I believe we are missing today, was 8th. Could have deserved more. Black Charizard 9th and Abmo running out the top 10. Hello, Side. Excited for next week? As the first cars are gonna start this qualifying here at the Circuit Paul Ricard in France. As the first car around the track, I believe, is a Alfa Romeo of Fates, so we will be riding along with him. Extremely long back straight where the speeds can reach easily like 330 kilometers an hour with the DRS open and ERS assistance. By far the best overtaking spot in the track is down at that DRS zone. After that there's a chicane and then the run down to the extremely fast double right-hander, which will be, the first part will be taken flat, and then this long sweeping right-hander where it is really important to keep your foot as down as it's possible to keep, and then the extremely technical final part of the track. As Fades doesn't really get the traction starting his lap, but let's see if that hinders his performance. The first corner, really difficult one, and probably the spot for most of track limit penalties and invalidations here in this qualifying, but King Fade seems to get through, no problem there. The latter part of the first sector is really hectic, and here at the swooping right-hander you really need to get throttle down properly, because that really determines how your straight line speed is gonna come up. As Fades heads into the chicane, no issues there. And from the looks of it, will set the pace for everyone else here in this qualifying session. Fades has the lift there in the swooping right-hander. some issues there at the exit, but the corner after that seems to be going fine. And really nicely hits the apex on the final corner. DRS wide open, and King Face will set a lap of 1:31 and 2. The fastest as of right now. Samet is just about to complete his lap. Let's see what he can do. The former Tier 1 driver, if I recall correctly, goes first with a 30.5. And here is Grone. I'm not gonna even try to pronounce his name properly, but with the mediums, interestingly, 1:31.7. Jay O'Leary goes second with a 31 flat, 31.0. And Easter, our winner last time out with the Ferrari, goes fastest with a 30.2. Very nice lap from him. I believe Tier 1. He can hear the echoes of Tier 1 in his ears with that performance. Major just starting his lap. There is an AlphaTauri crossing the line of Swen. Interestingly, with the mediums also. Goes a 39.0. Good 8 tenths behind the provisional pole sitter Easter. Here's Milham. 31.7 with the McLaren. And the AlphaTauri bearing will cross the line soon. First of them is Tichibu, 31.5, and his teammate Arctic Squirrel slots in behind him with the 300ths of a deficit. As our beloved admin Booma runs out the final corner with the Haas, and is about to set his first lap of the session, which is a 31.8, good enough for 12th. Here's Osvaldo Romeo, finished on the podium last time out. Really attacking the final sector where it's crucial to get the exits right. Hits the apex very nicely, then the throttle down smoothly. And Osvaldo Romeo crosses the line with a 30.7. This is good enough for third. Very nice lap from him. First laps are done and dusted, and Easter with the 3/10 deficit to his teammate Samet in second. As everyone is gonna pour into the pits. From outside of the screen, Abmo, who had good pace last time out, is interestingly also on the mediums. I'm gonna have to pull on the tires here. I think people are still getting to know the track with the medium tires, saving the softs for the race, perhaps. My fellow colleagues in commentators box doing the comms for Tier 2 race, Bloodwave and Adam, were adamant on strategy here at the Paul Ricard being mediums and hards in whichever order. I personally did a mediums to soft strategy, and as the safety car is quite rare around Paul Ricard, with the walls being so far off from the track and plenty of runaway or runoff. Circuit Paul Ricard is built right next to an airfield, so plenty of space. If there is an error, a driver might just take the runoff and not be scared of hitting the wall. as I believe the only car doing a lap right now is King Fate, so we'll go on board with him. He's behind on his first lap on the first sector, but there's still plenty of road where he can still improve. I personally felt like the chicane was actually one of the hardest parts of the track, as the inside curve really unsettles the car. As King Fate is improving his lap by good 2/10. Let's see if he can really attack the final technical sector. Better exit this time out on the swooping right-hander. But yeah, strategy-wise, mediums to softs is possible. Don't really know which of them is the faster strategy. For me, the mediums to softs worked, but the mediums were really dead, and I lost time there. So maybe if the driver wants to really attack, then he's gonna opt for the mediums to hards. As King Face goes fourth with a 30.9. Manages to improve his lap there. Let's hop aboard Grone. Good half-second improvement on the way if he can keep this together. Round the final corner. Very close on invalidating there. Goes maybe a bit deep on the brakes. As Grone crosses the line to improve his time with 7/10. Goes fourth fastest. Just pips the P4 away from King Face's hands. As the final driver to get a time is Major with the 30.9 as well. The gaps from P4 to P9 are really close together. There's 4 drivers within a 10th. And Ishtar, the first driver to go onto the 29s with a 29.7. Now almost a second gap of the driver sat in P2, and Sven the Man just gets short of it with a 30.0. Hello Sito, and good luck for the race. Could you please provide me with some weather insights? Is it gonna be a dry race? Here's Admo. He's just starting a lap, so let's see. Here, Pasty. Ooh, a bit dodgy on the chicane. And that's the end of his lap, for now at least. Pointers with the Williams now looking to improve on his time. He hits the apex nicely. Throttle down. And Pointers to the line with a new lap of 39.1. Gaps being really small in the midfield here. Here is Klaus, who's invalid. And the Aston pairing is coming to the closing stages of their laps with Arctic Squirrel putting the power down, DRS open. And to the line, let's see if he can improve. And yes, he can. With good 4/10, goes 10th with 31.1. And his teammate slots in behind him, TJ Boom. And Ammo has really improved on his lap, goes third with a 30.2. A great lap. Let's see if he can challenge in the race, as there is just short of 5 minutes remaining in the session. Samet is out of fuel and limping back to the pits. speed limit of the pit lane is only 60 here, so 5-second penalties are very possible around the Paul Ricard track, as the final runs of the drivers are soon to be started. King Fades, the first car round the track earlier on, is also the first car to start his final run. Let's see if he can improve. He doesn't need a big improvement to go noticeably higher on the standings, as the gaps are really small. With Ishtar the only driver able to go onto the 29s. Let's see if Sven or someone can really challenge him on the final run. Thanks, Jay O'Leary. So it's gonna be a dry race around the Paul Ricard track, interestingly. We will probably see a whole assortment of strategies, as King Fades, if that's not a bug, is purple on the second sector, now really attacking the final sector as the drivers are pouring out of the pits. Hopefully no one gets in the way. Final corner really puts the throttle down early. If done correctly, that might have saved him some time, as King Fades' final run is able to improve by 2/10, going 6th fastest. With still time at hand to maybe try his final run, as here's Sietze. 15 at the moment, is able to improve by a whopping 6/10 on the first sector. So plenty of time to be found around the Paul Ricard track. Let's see what our beloved admin can do. Around the chicane, nice and tidy from the looks of it. Eight and a half tenths up after 2 sectors. There's plenty of traffic ahead of him. Hopefully that won't disturb his lap attempt. Hopefully everyone can get out of the way nicely, as Sietze is heading around the final corners. Clips the apex just a tiny bit and gets a bit of a tow from the Aston Martin ahead, as Sietze Buma goes 8th fastest with a 30.9. Slots in at the very tight gaps around the field. And the next car, I believe, is a McLaren, as the session comes to a close of Mileham. Let's see what Mileham can do. Can he leave the Mercedes to the final Final row of our 16 drivers as Mileham crosses the final corner, throttle down, heading towards the line, and Mileham with a lap of 31.2 is able to go 14th, just improved on his time. Here's Summit on his final attempt. He's able to go third with 30.1. Good lap from him. Next car, Major. What can he do? 2/10 up on the, after 2 sectors. He's able to go 6th with 30.7. Here's the Aston pairing. Arctic Squirrel just improves to 11th. What about Tichy then? Goes 9th with a 30.7. Here's Puma, but he's not improving. Ishtar has invalidated, but still is able to clinch the pole. No one else in an attempt anymore. So Ishtar taking the pole with a 29.7. A good 3/10 gap deficit to Sven behind, and his teammate Summit is able to take third. Osvaldo maybe would be a bit of a subpar. Qualifying is only 7th, but during the first lap around Belgium he was able to really improve on his track position. So yeah. My bold prediction, my bold claim is that Ishtar and Sven are gonna run away with it. As here is your starting order for the French Grand Prix here in Tier 3 this fine evening. Ishtar with a pole of 29.7. Sven behind him with a 30.0. Samet not far behind in third. Then there's Abmo, Jay O'Leary, Major, Osvaldo, King Fades, Tichiboom. Cici Puma rounds out the top 10. His fellow countryman Gröne behind him in 11th. Arctic Squirrel in 12th, Pointers in 13th, Mileham 14th, Pasty 15th, and Klaus rounds out the grid. King Hova is predicting in the chat that Sven will be P1. We will find out about that soon enough. As it's nice and sunny around Paul Ricard. We had a wet quali in Tier 2, but luckily a dry race. No formation lap, as it's bugged at the moment, so we'll go straight to the action once the lights come on. Haha. Maybe he can take Ishtar at the start. I really don't know how good Ishtar is on the start in this new game. As we have the classic 5 red lights. And away we go with the French Grand Prix. I think Ishtar got the better of the start. Summit really dropping positions on the start. As they head to the first corner, Summit losing a whole heap of positions as Ishtar is still leading the pack. There's plenty of carnage behind them. Oh, contact between the Red Bull and Haas. But Puma seems to be able to prevail here to take P9 off his hands. Osvaldo for King Fades goes 7th fastest. He manages to complete the overtake. As here are your position changes early on as Major trying to move, but Abmo defends on the outside. Everyone seems to have gotten away well. No heartbreak for any of the drivers, at least yet. Jay O'Leary is looking to go around the outside of Samet. Looks for the switchback, but Samet has the inside line covered. And Jay O'Leary stays 6th. Oh, there is a yellow flag, and that's King Fades. Has he had a spin or contact, perhaps, with someone? Luckily manages to continue his race, albeit being the last of the running cars, but still has time, plenty of time to try and catch everyone, as we now see the tires of people. So mediums would be the leading strategy, as there has been an incident between Arctic Squirrel and Jay O'Leary. Both cars spinning and going straight to the back. Was there some mischief from either of them? That I don't know, sorry I missed it, but Arctic Squirrel and Jay O'Leary having to do it the hard way. As I believe they might have made contact in the first corner. Spacey going for a move on pointers. The lone car with the hard tires is able to complete it, and Pasty is now in the 10th position. As Sven is really challenging Ister for the lead here, but Ister, at least at the moment, is able to keep his position, leading the race. But yeah, strategy-wise, interestingly, almost everyone has opted to start on the medium tire. Will they go onto the hards or perhaps even the softs? That we will soon find out, as Abmo and Major and Grone are the only cars on the softs. They will not be good for maybe a maximum of 7 laps or something. Apologies. As Grone looking to attack on Booma, but I believe there will be a DRS train all the way from Major to Grone. Grone really close now on the Haas of Booma, trying to make advantage of the slipstream with a bit of ERS assistance. Grone attacking on Booma. Let's see if he can make this stick to the braking, and seemingly yes. The Red Bull of Grone able to overtake Booma, at least for now. But this Booma looking to get back at him. Slipstream is really powerful here on the latter part of the back straight. As Booma looks to the inside, but thinks better of it in the end. The soft runners must get past these medium runners relatively quickly in order for their tires not to burn out too quickly. As Claus here looking to attack Pasty, his teammate. Opens up the DRS. Let's see if the straight has enough length. But lifts, so we'll stay behind of him outside the points, at least for now. There's a bit of a train going behind Major, who's already flashing, so he might lose a whole heap of positions here. Osvaldo and Samet looking to capitalize on him. DRS open. Will Samet look for a move? But I believe the gap is too big for now. Oh! And Ister is the first driver, interestingly, in the lead. Whoa, you cannot make a move there, Samet. And that is gonna cost you, as Osvaldo is looking to overtake him, using plenty of ERS down the inside on the swooping right-hander. Oh, there's contact! Osvaldo spins. And round to the back he goes. Very interestingly, there is going to be plenty of words said about that about that in the stewards room after the race. As the very annoyed Osvaldo here is gonna try and attack with all his might, as Mileham capitalizes almost on his bit of an error, goes a bit too deep on the brakes. Klaus gets a bad exit here, and Mileham is looking to capitalize past him. Wheel to wheel they go to the first corner. Osvaldo looking to the inside of Klaus and is able to make the move stick. At least momentarily, as Klaus looks to come back at him. It's on the inside line. But Osvaldo retains his position at least momentarily. DRS will be available for the drivers behind him. Yeah, Wales, I agree. But Osvaldo is known from that sort of behavior. As Klaus looks to the outside of Osvaldo in the braking zone, Osvaldo brakes later and is able to keep the position at least for now. As Klaus is the second driver to be penalized. There's yellow flags in sector 1, I believe that's Arctic, whose race hasn't really been the same after the spin. He will probably need a safety car in order to get back in this. He might have bid it as well. Anyways, looking to the lead, Easter is still retaining the lead over Sven. Sven has the DRS behind, but interestingly, Easter, the first car to be penalized from track limits, has now that 3 seconds to his name. Really needs to punch it and grow the gap if he wishes to keep Sven behind. Major looking to attack Werner, with his teammate Boomer behind him. Werner flashed momentarily there, and Major also all out of ERS. While as Boomer has a whopping 73% at this stage. Maybe that two Hasses are looking to switch positions. Not yet, at least. And Verona retains his P4. Klaus and Osvaldo really going at it. Oh! Contact, and they spin! And King Fades hits the spun car there, and that's a safety car. I can confirm we have a safety car around the Paul Ricard track. Now, if anyone but pointers can really look to pit for the hard tire and go with that to the end, because this should be the only safety car. Easter stays out. What about Sven then? He stays out. The soft runners should definitely pit at this stage, as does Ammo, and Grona follows suit, as should Major, and yes they do. So King Fades there, really the unlucky party. There was contact between Klaus and Osvaldo. They both kinda like spun, and there was really nothing King Fades could have done. Yeah, exactly, Robin. Easter in the lead was just on the verge of being able to detach the DRS to Sven behind. Now he has to do it all again. Interestingly, Klaus goes for shots. Maybe he's betting on another safety car soon. But yeah, Osvaldo's race not really shaping up what he would have hoped. He's down in P12 and out of the points. And I didn't quite catch or see whose fault that might have been. Osvaldo was on the outside, and maybe he lost the traction on the exit there. But that's up for the stewards to decide anyway. As Arctic Squirrel is gifted with a chance to get back back into the race, has pitted for the hard tire now. To be fair, I think everyone should have pitted for hards now, because typically it's pretty rare to get a safety car around Paul Ricard, but I mean, yeah, this is ALR. Anything, and literally anything can happen. But yeah, Easter needs at least a 3-second gap in order to win the French Grand Prix here with Paul Ricard. Yeah, Robin. Abmo's had a good pace and provisionally is the leading car at the moment, the leading car that has pitted. So if there's no another safety car and he can keep that kind of pace up, he's looking strong to maybe contest the lead even. Eastern and Sven not being that much faster than the entire rest of the field. So I believe the safety car might be coming in this lap. Interesting to see maybe that Will Claus and Osvaldo cause another incident. They were all over on top of each other. And the safety car will enter the pits this lap, and that would mean that Ishtar gets to lead the field once he pleases. Of course, the safety car has to enter the pits first. And I will briefly bring out the telemetry info of Ishtar so you can see when he steps on the gas and tries to leave Sven napping. And the safety car is now in the pit lane. I believe Ishtar might stretch this to go at the absolute last moment, as he has went before the hairpin, and there has been a collision between Osvaldo and Jay O'Leary. Hopefully no damage there, as Ishtar is able to take a 7/10 gap upon safety car restart. Interesting spot where he decided to step on it there. He really needs to punch the gas now, as Pasty is the next car to be penalized for track limits. Everyone seemingly getting off nicely after the safety car restart. As Klaus with the Mercedes is looking to attack the Aston Martin of Tichy. ERS assistance, and not really a difficult move that, as there's a battle between Mileham and Jay O'Leary, the car penalized on the safety car restart, and there is damage to Jay O'Leary's front wing, so not only damage but a 5-second penalty as well. Jay O'Leary's race not really taking a turn he would have liked. As Tichy, Klaus and Osvaldo are caught in a battle. Osvaldo goes to the inside, but depends really who gets the better of exits, as Tichy seems to retain his P11 for now. Goes a bit deep on the brakes, and Osvaldo looks to the outside, but no real overtaking opportunities, as something has happened to Abmo. He has spun near the final corner, and that's it for his lead of the cars that pitted. Into the pit goes Jay O'Leary to suffer that 5 second and fix the front wing. As Arctic Squirrel attacks to the inside, is Abmo looking to switch back? Yes, he is. And with ERS assistance, looks to the inside, but cannot really make it stick as Klaus gets the second track limit penalty, I believe. All kinds of shenanigans here, 4-car battle going on. And something has happened to pointers, I believe that might be damage. But we will see this battle through as Osvaldo has made the move to stick on Tichy and Klaus, both respectively. Oh, and Tichy goes really deep on the brakes. Let's see if that will cost him, as Milham is really close behind him. Oh, and that's another spin for Abmo. Oh no. His race really going down the drain in a matter of a single lap. Was looking good to challenge for the lead even, but now he has to do it all over again from 8 seconds behind the entire field. As this battle is still raging on. Sven now leading with a 2-second gap over Sven. That's exactly what he needs if he wishes to win here at Paul Ricard. DRS becomes available after that safety car period. Booma has silently crept up to P3, by the way, but he hasn't pitted, so let's keep that in mind. The lead 4 cars are yet to pit, and I believe pointers as well, who had a sort of a moment there. Klaus gets yet another track limit penalty. 9 seconds is pretty lethal if you consider him getting into points. A nice 4-car battle here as Major goes round the outside of Gröne. Has used all of his ERS, and whoa, there's contact between Gröne and Pasty, and that costs Pasty a position. Summit is able to go P6, and Osvaldo looking to attack Pasty as well, and with ERS assistance, not really a difficult move. Plenty of action here as Osvaldo looks to the inside of Summit, but it's really difficult to overtake around that swooping right-hander if there's not a mistake from your adversary or something like that. As we have 11 laps behind of us now. Pasty dives into the pits. Mediums probably pretty even at this point. But the leading 2, as I predicted, have gotten away a bit. Sven nearly having that 3-second gap over Sven. And Booma with 2.5 seconds is looking to contest the podium, but plenty of cars right behind him. As his teammate Major has really blown all of his ERS, and still with the DRS systems, will the Haas swap places? He looks to the outside and is able to get it done before the braking zone there. But with that ERS situation, I believe Booma should be able to get it right back once he gets the DRS the next time. As Osvaldo and Summit are going at it. Osvaldo looks to the inside, he tries to make it there and seemingly gets the worst of exits. Bit of a contact wheel banging there, but Osvaldo is able to get it done on Summit, and Summit spins. A really unlucky spin there for Summit, as Booma dives into the pits and gets a 5-second penalty. That is not looking good if he wishes to finish on the podium, as I believe he's opting for the hard tire. Let's see if the lead 2 are maybe considering the softs even. Poor Booma. And he goes onto the soft tire. He's really betting all his money for another safety car period so he can suffer that 5-second penalty too. As the gaps seem to have gotten a little bit bigger. Mileham, the leading McLaren here, is able to open DRS on Tichy. Jay O'Leary's new fastest lap of the race is at 33.2. Not quite close enough, at least yet. Both of the drivers with a similar kind of ERS load. Up, and Claus looks to the inside of Mileham, but thinks better of it. And Mileham stays 7th. So Summit, after that spin, spins yet again. Just manages to keep it off the wall, but race not really going Summit Turkmen's way. As Ister has pitted now. Onto the hard tire he goes. Swen still stays out, so is he looking to go onto the softs and stay on it for the rest of the race? But Ister dropping back to seemingly what will be P10, P11 maybe? It's gonna be P11 as Abmo just is able to take P10 from Ister. Ister really needs to tap on it now with the hard tires. But those should be fairly comfortable going to the end. Osvaldo has crept up on the podium positions, but maybe not for long, as Grone with the ERS assistance. Rather easy move that. Osvaldo didn't even defend it, he had such a better exit there. Let's see if Osvaldo can get right back at his tail. As there's yellow flags in sector 2, and I believe that's Summit yet again. Maybe something wrong with the setup or rear wing damage. As Run France, you really need to have a stable rear end. Osvaldo really looking to get his podium position back. Rona goes a bit deep, but nothing too serious yet. And Swen now in the lead with a 2.4 second gap, still staying out, so might be even opting for the softs. Let's see, Osvaldo with the DRS on Grone with ERS assistance is able to make the move stick, and back onto the podium position he goes. Claus with yet another penalty. Is not looking to finish on the points with that many penalties. Let's see now Ister on the chase. Behind Abmo. Final car on the points paying positions. He's gonna have the DRS and Abmo doesn't, so should be able to get this move done relatively comfortably. Apologies. DRS open, looks to the inside, and away he goes into P10. Grone now, looking to get back on Osvaldo. Is he looking for the switchback? Not yet. As Ister has already cleared pointers as well, with the DRS assistance, I believe. Slowly but surely clawing his way back closer to the top. Swen still staying out as lap 15 is getting underway. Claus speeds to the pits and he's got a year of penalties. But the soft tires were really not gonna make it to the end as Pointers is pitted. And there's a VSC. But what was the cause? Samet takes a 3-second penalty there as well. But yes, there is a VSC period. Sven now at the first sector. He might not have the time to capitalize on this, but he really needs to get out of those mediums ASAP, because I think I did like 16 laps on the mediums and they were close to being in the puncture territory. Let's see here. VSC is out, and I really don't know the cause of it because nobody retired or anything. There might have been a spin or something. But the 15 driver still continuing in the race. VSC still out. Is Sven gonna dive into the pits? Probably is. But is it gonna be enough to stay in front of Ishtar? That we will find out soon enough. And Sven does dive into the pit and gets a drive-through penalty. That's really bad for Sven. I mean, he's not gonna win. That's for sure. As we're back to green flag racing, Major is now your leading car, as Sven and Osvaldo both have pitted. Presumably to the soft tire this late on. And Ishtar does clear Sven and Osvaldo. And remember, Sven has that drive-through penalty. He has to serve within, I think it's like 4 laps or something. So Sven is gonna really have to drive his absolute buttocks off if he wishes to finish on the points even. But he has the pace, and there's still 10 laps to go. Ishtar now looking to capitalize on Arctic Squirrel with much fresher rubber. Gets the better of exits, I think. ERS assistance and DRS is opened. So relatively easy move. Ishtar is able to go 5th. And now has to chase for that 8-second gap on the next car. The McLaren of Milham. So Sven did his drive-through penalty already and still has to pit. He's gonna drop way outside the points. He's really gotta drive his buttocks off if he wishes to finish on the points. And that medium tire probably screaming in agony at this point. As there's interesting little battle as Boom from P2 dives into the pits to what presumably will be the soft or the medium tire. And Sven has now pitted as well. So let's see how far will he drop both Astons at the pits. Teaching now on the mediums, and I believe Arctic is gonna go onto the medium tire as well. Yes, he is. Milham here is able to open up the DRS, but the gap being so large, he has no wishes of improving his position. As here's Stitchy on the fresh rubber trying to attack on Claus. That's a track limit violation. Probably both drivers weren't there, and Claus has a year full of penalties, so he's really gotta step up his game going into the next races with the track limits, because he's not gonna finish on the points with that many. Sven now looking to attack on Arctic. Looks to the inside under braking, but thinks better of it. With the fresh softs, he should be able to get this move done relatively quickly, as we don't have a new race later. Grone pits for what I presume is going to be the hard tire, interestingly, this late on. And back up to P3 goes Ishtar. Easter now with a little under 5 seconds to the McLaren of Mileham, who is looking strong to finish on the podium here at the French Grand Prix. And yet another penalty for Klaus. Let's see how many he's got. 20 seconds of penalties, so he's not gonna finish on the points. That's for sure. Major and Easter with 3 seconds. Boomer with that 5 seconds for speeding, I believe. Pasty with 6 seconds. So let's see if that affects our drivers going to the end, as there's drivers on all sorts of tires. I think Easter's got this in the bag. He's got to pull the gap, which is the biggest issue, but he's taken a full second out of Mileham during that last lap. As here's Grona with the fresher rubber, trying to capitalize on Pasty. Should be able to do it once the DRS comes live down the main straight. Opens up DRS, and this should be relatively comfortable. And it is. Ways before the braking zone even. Grona up to 6th. Sven does the new fastest lap of 32.8. Pretty sovereign. I think that's gonna stay. Boomer has already done 7 laps on those softs, and he still has to bet he's not gonna finish on that tire. I believe he will drop quite far, maybe even outside the points. So here's Ditchy on Pasty. Opens up the DRS and is able to get it done ways before the braking zone. Oh! Ditchy goes very deep on the brakes there and gets a completely justified 3 seconds of that. But is able to detach the... Oh, sorry, no, he isn't able to detach the DRS. Pasty is looking to come back at him. Easter now with only 1 second, just over 1 second gap on Mileham, is probably able to open up DRS down the back straight. Major still has to pit from the lead of this race. 14 laps on those mediums already. To what I believe will be the soft tires going to the end. Let's shift our focus on the closer to the top, as Easter has gotten within the DRS of Mileham. Let's see if he can open it. He should, because here's the DRS line and the gap is under a second. ERS assistance also deployed. And Easter is back up to P2. Also closing in on Major already, who hasn't got any ERS left, whilst Easter still has 20. So he should have this relatively comfortably in the bag, if he can keep that up. Let's see if Mileham can stay within the DRS of Easter. He really needs to if he wishes to maybe even challenge for the win of this race. Major's tires are not going to go to the end, that's for sure. Opens up DRS at least for now, but once Easter gets the DRS of Major during the next straight, we are going to have a new leader. Klaus with yet another track limit penalty. He must be close to getting disqualified, really. As Easter looking to claim his rightful throne. Really being the class of the field. Sven could have challenged him for the win, as Easter is your new race leader. Relatively easy move around Major, whose tires are probably dead at this point. Osvaldo looking to capitalize on Bouma, who's also got very old rubber. 9 laps on the softs. Probably has to pit within the next 2 laps. Otherwise there's no point really. But no, the gaps behind are that big that he might even try and brave it off. Try to save the rubber to go to the end. Osvaldo gets really close with much pressure tires. Let's see here, both drivers hit the apex pretty nicely. Osvaldo clips it a bit. Hasn't got the best of exits, but still has plenty of ERS. And DRS open. Looks to the inside. And Osvaldo up to 4th. Grone is your next driver penalized. As Milham is looking to attack on Major. Milham is looking pretty strong on finishing P2 actually. Whereas Easter has already made the gap to that 3 seconds he needs. Only a track limit penalty can get in his way of winning the race really. Tichy has gotten a move past Grone. Up into P6 now and looking to catch Bouma relatively soon. As Major still stays out, maybe he's trying to get that medium tire to go to the end. I think an absolute maximum that the medium tire can do is probably 18 laps. Well, if he's not getting a puncture, he must be close. Going towards the end, as Sven has clawed his way back onto the points and is now looking to attack on pointers with the press softs. DRS open. Pointers trying to break the slipstream on Sven. Sven gets really close, but not quite close enough just yet. The long back straight being his next chance for an overtake. As Easter has really, he's went over a 5-second gap already, and that track limit penalty is not going to hinder his performance at all. Oh, and Sven has a bit of a moment there, losing the rear on exit, trying to really attack pointers. DRS wide open, and Sven looks to the inside, and Sven up to 8th. Pointers not really even bothering to fight here. Short side. So here are your penalties. Easter at the lead with the 3-second. So has Major, but his tires are screaming in agony. And Milham under a second behind. Bouma has a 5-second penalty for what I believe is speeding. His tires also really on the limit. Tichy and Grone both have an Arctic has 3 seconds respectively. Klaus might be even close to getting disqualified because he's got a whole heap of track limit penalties. And Pasty with 9 seconds is looking to drop out of the points. But we still got 3 laps to go. Milham really looking to attack Major now to claim the P2, which obviously he's probably gonna get due to the track limit penalty. The McLaren of Milham now opens up the DRS, deploys a bit of ERS against Major, who's got none, and Mileham is up to second. Major has already done 18 laps on those mediums, and I think he might be trying to take them to the end. That would be a 21 lap stint, maybe? Pretty crazy if you ask me. I did 16 or 17 laps and they were absolutely dead, very close on puncture territory. Another driver with extremely worn tires is Buma. 12 laps on softs already. And he's losing a lot of time. Sven is gonna come knocking. If not next lap, then the one after that. Sven also has 7 laps on those tires already as well. Major trying to attack Mileham, but those tires probably don't have anything left in them. Abmo, who's had a bit of a silent race, is looking to attack Klaus. Looks to the inside upon exit already, opens up the DRS, and gets it done easily. Abmo up to 12th. So Major really deploying everything from his ERS. Probably just praying that the tires go to the end and trying to get the tow from Mileham. Because he also has the 3-second penalty and Osvaldo is not that far behind. Oh! Abmo! Retires from the race. Did he lose it upon braking there? Don't really know what happened there, but really unlucky for Abmo. He had the pace and at one point it seemed like he could contest for the win maybe even. Anyways, Easter is just gone. 11 seconds is the gap as he starts the final lap of the French Grand Prix in Tier 3. And now Major has dropped from the DRS. His tires must be dead, as it's gonna be a 20 lap stint. Mighty one at that. Osvaldo with the fresher tires is attacking. Sven has got past Buma to go 7th, which will probably be where he finishes, if not for Groene's track limit penalty. So Sven really needs to punch it if he wishes to improve his position that one more time. I think no one is going to be able to open DRS for the final lap. So we're probably not going to see much changes except for the penalties at the line. So yeah, Pointers has gotten past Puma to go 8th. He would have done that anyway because Puma has that penalty. And Pasty also looking to attack Puma. Here's Ister, who crosses the line and wins the French Grand Prix here on Sunday evening. Relatively easy win at the end, as the gap being like 15 seconds. Mileham is gonna finish 2nd ahead of Major, who did amazing stint on that tire, but Osvaldo just pips the podium away from him due to that track limit penalty. TJ crosses the line, so does Groene, and Sven is just able to get Groene at the end on penalties. Pointers is gonna finish 8th, Pasty 9th, and I think Buma is not able to get him due to the penalties. No, he's not, but he still gets a point for finishing 10th. Samet Turkmen 11th in the end. He had plenty of sad moments spinning. I think it was like 2 or 3 times, as Arctic has really cut every corner there is. And that'll do it. So Swapsy, I believe the limit was 30 seconds in the last game, but as we saw earlier on, some drivers got more than that and didn't get disqualified, so I don't know how the game works in that sort of manner. Oh, boom, did you get a puncture there in the end? I noticed your stint was way too long, but anyways, here's your final order. Easter taking the win from pole. Despite the 3-second penalty, is able to finish the race with a good 11-second gap on Milham, who's had the performance of a lifetime. From 14th on the grid, is able to finish second. Oswaldo, just pips the final podium position from Major on penalties, who did a great stint on that medium tire. I honestly don't know how he made it last that long. Teacher with a nice drive as well is able to finish 5th. Sven, after some bad luck on virtual safety car, gets the drive-through penalty, but despite that is able to finish 6th with the fastest lap, so extra point for that. Grona in 7th, Pointers in 8th, Pasty in 9th, and Booma rounds out your top 10. Summit with the race to forget, finishes just outside the points. Jay O'Leary 12th, also with the race to forget. He had sad moments there in the early stages with the damage and everything. And then the rest. Next week, we're gonna be heading off to Spain. Circuit Barcelona de Catalunya. Probably butchered that as well. Interesting track that. Very high on tire wear and plenty of fast corners. Loving the new final sector as they remove the ever so annoying chicane from that. And we will see if I make my glorious return to the booth 10, or is it gonna be with Rigo? Is it gonna be just Rigo? That we will find out next week. Anyways, my name is Allu. Thank you for watching and tuning into ALR Tier 3, and we will see you next time.